The film opens in Rome, where we meet Officer Mario, a seasoned detective. He is deeply involved in a chilling case. A serial killer has been preying on people throughout the city. The murders are brutal and mysterious. Mario has a breakthrough and follows a lead to the killer's hidden lair. When he and his team arrive, they discover a shocking scene. The lifeless body of a young woman lies in the center of the room, surrounded by an array of objects used in black magic rituals. It's clear that the killer isn't just a murderer, he is a practitioner of dark arts. The story then jumps across the globe to the United States. The scene shifts to a university campus where we are introduced to Dr. Mackles. He is a respected scholar of African studies with a deep and specialized knowledge of traditional medicine and herbal remedies used by various African tribes. At the same time, in another part of the same city, we meet Detective Lucas. He is a sharp and dedicated detective who, along with his partner, is on a case to rescue a kidnapped girl. They burst into the kidnapper's home, finding the terrified girl and quickly rescuing her. The kidnapper, however, tries to outsmart Lucas and grabs a gun from his bed. Lucas, quick on his feet, fires his own weapon, ending the threat. In that very moment, Lucas has a sudden, haunting vision. A young girl is sitting alone by the side of a lake. This brief and confusing vision gives us a hint that there is more to Lucas's past than we know. The narrative returns to Rome and the hunt for the killer. Officer Mario and his team have successfully tracked down the black magic practitioner. They close in on him, but this killer is incredibly dangerous and far stronger than they anticipated. He uses a sharp, powerful knife to attack Mario's officers, killing several of them before making his escape. Mario fires at the man, but the bullets seem to have no effect. The killer vanishes into the night. The very next day, the killer meets with a wealthy and influential Roman businessman, Mr. Shelby Farner, who is a billionaire. We learn the killer's name is Rendeku, and he is originally from Africa. Rendeku possesses a horrifying ability. By performing certain rituals and consuming parts of his victims' bodies, he can gain immense power. Shelby Farner, who is Rendeku's client, desperately seeks more power through Rendeku's dark magic. Rendeku warns Shelby that the path to this power is extremely dangerous and carries great risk. He tells him to think it over carefully and call him with his final decision. Meanwhile, Lucas is plagued by repeated visions of his past. They all center around a deeply traumatic memory: his daughter tragically drowned. The guilt weighs heavily on him, as he believes that if he hadn't fallen asleep that day, he could have saved her life. He is haunted by the thought that his inaction led to her death. Back in Rome, Shelby Farner makes his decision. He calls Rendeku, telling him he is ready to proceed. He wants more power, immense wealth, and a longer life. The stakes are high. Rendeku travels from Rome to the US to fulfill his client's dark desires. He finds a local high school and targets a young girl. He kidnaps her, performs his black magic rituals, and removes some of her body parts. Afterward, he disposes of her body, leaving it to be found in a remote body of water in the countryside. The chilling final scene shows Rendeku has begun his gruesome work to grant Shelby's wish. When Detective Lucas and his team discover the young girl's body, they are horrified. The body is incomplete, and a post-mortem confirms a chilling detail: the girl was still alive when her body parts were taken. The thought of such a terrifying and agonizing death leaves the police shocked and determined to find the killer at any cost. While the police investigation is underway, Rendeku chooses his next victim: a child from a school's basketball court. The scene shifts to a secluded house, where we see Rendeku performing his dark ritual. The same gruesome fate awaits this child, and the next day, the child's body is discovered by the police, with several body parts missing. In a new twist, another man's body is found alongside the child's. The police theorize that this man must have witnessed Rendeku's horrifying ritual and was killed to silence him. This time, the crime scene offers crucial clues. Lucas and his team find some unique herbs and a golden powder in the abandoned house. On a wall, smeared in the child's blood, is a quote written in an unknown African language. Forensic tests confirm that the herbs are a type of African tea, and the golden powder also originates from Africa. Following this new trail of evidence, Lucas seeks out Dr. Mackles. the university professor who specializes in African studies. Lucas explains that he needs help with a case and presents the herbs and golden powder. Dr. Mackles' reaction is immediate. He can sense that these items are linked to a powerful form of black magic. Lucas, ever the detective, notices Mackles' hesitation and knows he's holding something back. This is confirmed when Lucas shows him a photograph of the bloody quote on the wall. Mackles, clearly unnerved, tells Lucas he can't help and asks him to leave. Meanwhile, in Rome, Officer Mario is also making progress on Rendiku's case. He interrogates local informants and discovers that Rendiku belongs to an African tribe and is known as a Sangoma, or witch doctor. A Sangoma is believed to be a man of God with powerful spiritual abilities. Undeterred by Mackles' initial refusal, Lucas returns to his office. He insists that he needs the professor's help, arguing that innocent children are dying. This time, Dr. Mackles agrees and accompanies Lucas to the crime scene. Mackles translates the bloody quote, "Here I take the power. Here I become the power." Later, during a quiet lunch, Mackles reveals the full truth. He confirms that Rendiku is a Sangoma who uses his abilities for wealthy clients like Shelby Farner. He explains that a Sangoma must first gain immense power for themselves before working for others. This is why Rendiku killed the first two children. He consumed their body parts to increase his own power. Mackles explains that the power gained corresponds to the body part eaten. Consuming the brain of an intelligent person increases one's own intellect. Eating someone's eyes can change one's perspective, giving them the ability to see the future or gain new insight. Consuming the body parts of a young person can extend the consumer's lifespan. Mackles also reveals a critical detail about the African tribe. The chief has the authority to stop a rogue Sangoma. The chief can kill a Sangoma who misuses their powers and send their body parts back to the victim's family as an apology. The victim's family can then eat the Sangoma's body parts to reclaim the power that was taken. Though Lucas is a cop who initially finds it hard to believe in such things, he now understands Rendiku's horrifying motive. The very next day, Shelby calls Rendiku, pressuring him for more power. He specifically requests the eyes of a beautiful person so he can make better decisions in his business. Rendiku heads to a bar, intending to trap and kill a bartender named Teddy for his eyes. But just as he is about to act, the police arrive, searching for a missing car. The hunt is still on, and Rendiku has stolen the car that the police were looking for, and when the officers try to stop him, he ruthlessly kills them. When Lucas and his team arrive, they learn from witnesses that the killer is perched on the top floor of a nearby building. The police rush inside, but Rendiku is already one step ahead, leaping from the roof and running down the fire escape. The officers manage to surround him, forcing him back into the building. Rendiku creates a bloody distraction by killing more policemen with his sharp knife. He knows the officers will try to save their friends, and he uses this moment to make his escape. In the chaos, he slashes Lucas's partner's throat. Fortunately, his partner is rushed to the hospital in time and survives. That night, Lucas digs into Rendiku's past and learns he was previously active in Rome. He connects with Officer Mario, who shares a critical piece of information. He recently found CCTV footage of Rendiku meeting with a famous billionaire businessman named Shelby Farner. Mario suspects Shelby is Rendiku's client. Despite having no concrete evidence, Lucas decides to confront Shelby alone. He goes to Shelby's lavish home and delivers a stern warning: stop whatever he's doing, or face the consequences. Of course, Shelby ignores the threat. The next day, Shelby lures a young, brilliant female student to his home under false pretenses. He tells her he is a friend of her parents and might be able to offer her a scholarship. The girl, a scholar, is hoping to gain funding for her studies. Shelby's real plan is much darker. He wants Rendiku to kill her and remove her eyes, brain, and other body parts to use in a ritual that will give him more power. He needs her eyes to gain a new perspective on his business and her intelligence to make better decisions. The girl's parents report her missing. At the same time, Dr. Mackles contacts Lucas with an urgent warning. He explains that these rituals always take place near water. He tells Lucas to find out how many properties Shelby owns and to check any that are near a lake or river. They quickly find a secluded estate that fits the description. That night, Lucas and Dr. Mackles drive there. Lucas tells the professor to wait in the car while he goes in alone, calling for backup to meet him there. Inside the building, Lucas finds a horrific scene. Rendeku is in the middle of a ritual, and the young woman is tied up. Lucas orders him to stop and raises his gun, but before he can fire, Shelby appears and strikes him from behind, knocking him unconscious. Just as Shelby is about to finish off Lucas, Dr. Mackles, seeing what's happening, bursts into the room. He pulls out a knife, a mirror image of the one Rendeku uses, and swiftly slits Shelby's throat. Mackles then turns on Rendeku and stabs him in the stomach, saving the girl. The police backup team arrives just as Rendeku and Dr. Mackles escape the scene, both injured. Lucas regains consciousness, saves the girl, and the case seems to be closed. However, the next day, a shocking truth is uncovered. Officer Mario calls Lucas from Rome with a stunning revelation. 9 months ago, Rendeku and Dr. Mackles were seen together after a university lecture in Rome, a meeting that now casts a shadow over everything. The truth is far more complex than Lucas ever imagined. The shocking truth is revealed. The man Lucas trusted, Dr. Mackles, is actually the chief of Rendeku's African tribe. Their meeting in Rome was no coincidence. It was a connection from their shared past. Mackles stabbed Rendeku not as a random act of heroism but as an act of justice, upholding the ancient laws of his tribe. Rendeku had misused his powerful abilities, and as his chief, Mackles had the duty to punish him. A few days after the final confrontation, a parcel arrives for Lucas. Inside, wrapped in a package, are Rendeku's eyes. At the same time, Officer Mario in Rome receives another package containing other body parts. Lucas receives a message from Mackles explaining everything. I have killed Rendeku, and as an apology for all the pain he has caused, here are his eyes. You can consume them, and his power will become yours. While Mario chooses not to eat the gruesome offering, Lucas, intrigued and desperate for a resolution, eats the eyes. Lucas is instantly granted a new, powerful ability. He can now see the world in a way he never could before, understanding things on a deeper level. The movie ends with this new, unsettling power, hinting at a darker future for the detective.